We now move over to the Indian subcontinent, where New Delhi has announced tax cuts on hundreds of consumer items, ranging from soaps to small cars, in a bid to increase domestic demands amid economic challenges from US tariffs. The measures come after the United States imposed 50% tariffs last month, raising fears of an economic slowdown. Indian Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the goods and services tax has been overhauled, simplifying the four-tier system into two slabs. The panel, headed by the minister, approved rates of 5% and 18% from earlier slabs of 5, 12, 18 and 28%. Let's listen in to what the Indian Finance Minister had to say.
Reduction from 18 or from 12 to 5%. I list out those items, all of whom have come to 5% from either 18 or from 12. Common man items such as hair oil, toilet soap, soap bars, shampoos, toothbrushes, toothpaste, bicycles, tableware, kitchenware and other household articles have all come to 5, whether they were in 18 or whether they were in 12.
We're now joined by Dr. Ajay Dua. He's a former Secretary of Commerce and Senior Economist, and he joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Dr. Dua, for joining us as always. These announcements today from the Finance Minister, are they enough to deal with Donald Trump's crushing tariffs on India?
Thank you very much, Thomas, for having me.
Pleasure.
The discussion between the Union Minister of Finance, Nirmala Sitharaman, and all the state finance ministers, every one of them is a member of what's called the GST Council, Goods and Service Tax Council, jointly decided last evening, after deliberating over it for over a year, how to rationalize and optimize the tax which was imposed in 2017, 8 years ago, by amalgamating the central government taxes, indirect taxes, and the state government taxes. So this amalgamated unified tax, which had turned India into one uniform market, was long overdue for a review, and the exercise had begun about a year ago. It culminated yesterday when there was a consensus amongst them that we need to reduce the rates, like most of the industrialized world has it, to one rate of the tax, VAT, what is called in many countries. In India, we call it GST. Because goods are taxed by the center and the states, and services only by the center, so that these were combined. And it was decided that instead of, as you mentioned, Mr. Thomas, that instead of 4 rates, they've been reduced to 2, 5 and 18%. At 99% of the items which were at 12 and 18% have been reduced to 5%, and those items which are at 18 and 28, 90% of them have been put at 18%. So, sorry, I stand corrected, between 15 and 28, the new rate, 18% rate, 90% of the items are there. Some have moved up from 15, and most of them have come down from 28 to 18. This is going to be, this is coincidentally kind of coming at a time when Mr. Trump has levied his 50% back-breaking tariffs on India. But it had nothing to really do with his tariffs, because they were overdue, they had been announced, deliberations between the center and the states had been going on, and it's going to help out a lot because it will reduce the kind of onerous tax rates which we had in India, going up to 28%, and on certain items even 40%. Reduction in this the rates is going to help deal India with building up a higher consumption within the country. There is an estimate that the household consumption in India forms 60% of the GDP. Now, with this reduction of 2 trillion rupees, it's going to become 68%, 8% more consumption is expected, particularly of the lower category of people who have a very high propensity to consume. They save very little, so if they get 8% more money, they will spend it on. As a result of this, which would help India, incidentally tide over what Mr. Trump has done to the country by imposing a penal rate of interest of 50%, but that's a coincidence. This was long overdue, and we are hopeful that as India goes into a festive season, 2 months of various festivals in different parts of the country, and that's like Christmas for us. Most of the shopping takes place during that time, that we would see the benefits of it coming within a month and a half or two, when in September or when in October the festival season starts. That is why the government took a conscious decision to start the lower taxation regime on the 22nd of September itself, so that people are able to liquidate their stock. That's it.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Ajay Jua, for so much concise information there. Thank you very much for taking out the time and joining us. Well, that is all that we have time for today.